Hey, I'm Lauren from tastypc.tv. Today we're doing an overview of Corsair's AX1200i power supply. So this power supply is a massive leap forward from the original AX1200 because not only is it now 80 plus platinum efficiency, but it's also Corsair's first ever digital power supply. So this video has been filmed over several days and it has been filmed out of sequence, but hopefully that shouldn't affect the quality of the video too much. So firstly I'm going to show you the power supply and then the software. So let's get started. So taking a look around the box, you can see the 80 plus platinum efficiency badge, and this is the most efficient power supply Corsair have ever made. So it also says that it's got digitally controlled power, it's quiet, and of course fully modular. So if I open the lid, so here we've got a semi-transparent image of the AX1200i. And basically it just says that it's got upgraded internal components to allow it to have a higher efficiency. So if I then move the camera for you, so here we've got a list of all the cables that come with the power supply. We've got the 24 pin and 8 pin motherboard connectors, 6 PCIe cables, 16 SATA cables, 12 Molex cables and 2 floppy cables. So if I move the camera back to where it was, and take you for a look at the back of the box. So taking a look at the back of the box, you can see this power supply comes with a 7-year warranty. And if I just zoom you in, we can take a look at the output ratings. So you can see that a massive 100 amps and 1204 watts is available to the plus 12 volt rail. So if I then take you for a look at the efficiency and fan noise graphs, so amazingly, this power supply stays completely silent until it hits 30% load. But what's even more amazing is that when it gets past about 20% load, it pretty much hits peak efficiency and sits there almost all the way to full load. So now I'm going to show you what comes inside the box. So in the box, Corsair have provided a manual, some cable ties, fitting screws, a sexy powered by Corsair sticker, and a double-sided sticky pad to use with the Corsair Link adapter. So in here you've got the Corsair Link adapter, and you just use this to access the software controlled features if you don't have a Corsair Link kit. So you've also got the power cable and the modular cable pack. So these wires are all the same quality as the ones from the original AX series. So then lastly we've got the power supply itself. And I can't tell you how good it feels to own one of these. It just oozes quality, and I know that's a really weird thing to say, but just trust me on this, if you had one you would understand. So if I take you for a quick look around it, so as you can see, the AX is an orangey red, and the 1200i is a really shiny silver that would look really good reflecting your LED lighting if you're using LEDs. So on the back, where you plug in all your cables, you can see they're all numbered. And I would imagine this is just so you know what you're looking at in the Corsair Link software. You've also got the COM port for connecting to the Corsair Link software, and a self-test button. So if you press this button and it lights up green, then you know that everything's good. But if you press the button and it lights up red, well, at least you've got a 7-year warranty. So now I'm going to talk to you about the software. So the AX1200i's most impressive feature is that it's a digital power supply. And what this basically means is, firstly, it provides digitally controlled power, which results in amazing voltage regulations. And this allows the power supply to use cleaner power with less ripple, which is vital if you want a stable overclock, but it also puts less strain on your hardware. Secondly, it also gives you the ability to be able to monitor and control your power supply using the Corsair Link. So as you can see, I have put a test system together in my old 600T using the AX1200i, and I'm just going to use this to show you the Corsair Link software. So this is the Corsair Link software. If you do get the full Corsair Link kit, you do get more options than this, although it is only beta at the moment, so there might be a few changes in the finished version. So moving over to the power section, up here we've got the efficiency and power. It says there's currently 115 watts coming in from the wall and 111 watts coming out of the power supply into the system. Also says we're about 99% efficiency. So I did have my energy monitor out earlier, and I can tell you this is right to roughly 90%. Although I did notice that it's less accurate when the system's idle, and it gets more accurate the more load the system's under. Although I do find it a little bit weird, it says we're at 99% efficiency, because due to my current power draw, I should be sat in the inefficient part of the efficiency curve on the back of the box. So then we've got the fan configuration. I'm currently in quiet mode, it's running passively. Although if I wanted to, I do have the ability to be able to manually choose what percentage the fan's at, if I wanted to, say, utilise it as an extra case exhaust or something. So then we've got the AX1200i temperature, and this gives me the ability to set all kinds of alerts for what to do if it gets past set temperatures. So this section shows the current voltage regulations for the 24 pin and 12 volt rail, the AC input, the peripheral 12 volt and their combined 3.3 volt and 5 volt rails. So then we've got the overcurrent protection section, and the AX1200i out of the box is a single rail power supply, although this gives you the ability to be able to set up independent plus 12 volt rails. Although it does do it per connectors, so when you're building your computer, it would be good to note down what you put where, so you know what it is you're controlling. So basically, setting up individual OCP trip points for your individual PCI connectors means that you're better protected in the event of a surge. Now normally, larger watt power supplies have such a high OCP trip point on a single rail that it is nice to give advanced users this level of control. However, I do see most people like me just leaving it in single rail mode. So all these software control features have been inspired by a power control normally only found on servers, although it is great that enthusiasts are finally getting the level of control they crave. So now I'm going to move on to the conclusion. So the AX1200i is honestly the best power supply I've ever used to date. And even though I know it's really obvious that I'm a big fan of Corsair power supplies, which you know if you watch my discussion video, which by the way, I did only use a 1200 watt power supply as an example. At no point did I actually say get a 1200 watt power supply for your 400 watt system. But you know, pushing that aside, the AX1200i is undeniably innovative. So the Corsair Link software does need some tweaking and perfecting, but once it's done, it will be a great way to monitor and control everything. So the majority of people won't need a power supply with this many watts. Corsair have really designed it just to show off what they can do. It's only really been designed for two kinds of people. Firstly, you know, the people who need a power supply with that many watts, ones with multiple CPUs, 3 to 4 graphics cards, stuff like that. And people like me who, price permitting, just want the best of the best. So I will recommend the majority of people wait for the lower watt versions of the Digital AXI series to come out, but personally I will look forward to using this power supply for many years to come, because in the system it's in now it can power anything that I can chuck at it passively and efficiently. So I might be using the AX1200i in Project Tasty, that or it'll be on a test bench, haven't really decided yet, but this is a rough indication of how Project Tasty will end, which I will start filming soon. So if you like my overview of the AX1200i, hit the like button, don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for watching.